Hey everybody, it's Mitch, and welcome to my next video. Today we have got another Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 Prestige class description for you. And today, coming at you from the Complete Divine, we got ourselves the Seeker of the Misty Isle. Now, we are going to talk about what is the Seeker of the Misty Isle. We're going to talk about how you go about becoming a Seeker of the Misty Isle. Then we're going to talk about what you get as a Seeker of the Misty Isle. And finally, we're going to talk about how good the Seeker of the Misty Isle is and how you might use it in a build. So let's get started. First off, what is the Seeker of the Misty Isle? Well, quite frankly, there's a story. Many years ago, Korth Lorion shot the Eye of Grumpsh, and he was not happy about that. So he teamed up with another one of the deities. I believe it was the god of the Kobold, Kurtuluk, and they decided to get revenge upon the elves. So upon the Day of the Elves, they decided that they were going to take one of the most beautiful elven cities, hide it. How they did that, where it went, no one knows. They had their greatest diviners try to figure out where it is, to no avail. The only information they were able to determine was there were survivors and they were trapped. That's all that was able to be known. And so this land of elves that was hidden by Grumpsh and Kurtuluk is now being sought by elves in the suit of bringing back their brethren and saving them from this trap was devised gods themselves. So that is this prestige class, the Seeker of the Misty Isle. You are those chosen few who dedicate their lives to finding this Misty Isle. You will search any nook and cranny. Anywhere could be a portal to the Misty Isle. You don't know. You don't know where it is. It could be a sewer. It could be at the top of a mountain. It could be anything. Therefore, anything that has even a remote possibility of being the answer to where is the Misty Isle, you will search that down. You will track down any clue because, quite frankly, information is basically non-existent and you're desperate for scraps. So you're going to search out whatever you can find. That is what it means to be a seeker of Misty Isle. Alright, so that being said, let's talk about what it takes to become a Seeker of the Misty Isle. So first off, you have to be an elf or a half-elf. Makes sense. You're searching for an elven isle, which is, it's elven, and so it makes sense that you have to be an elf. Next, you need a couple of knowledges. You need knowledge religion, 4 ranks, and knowledge survival, 8 ranks. It's not an easy task, and you're going to be going to all sorts of crazy places, so you're going to need to know how to survive if you want to be a Seeker of the Misty Isle. Additionally, you'll need to be able to cast 2nd level divine spells. This is a divine spellcasting class, so you are going to be able to need to do that. And finally, there's a special requirement that you must be inducted by someone who's already a member. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge getting in. If you're trying to get in as a player, expect a nice little campaign or a little mini campaign from your DM. If you're the DM and your player wants to do this, throw something at them. Throw a little quest at them. All right, so that's what it takes to become a Seeker of the Misty Isle. Let's talk about what they get. First off, they get a +7 base attack bonus, so that of a cleric. So average, decent, okay. Fort and Will, they get a good save on both. Sorry, Fort and Reflex, they get a good save. Will is not a good save. So that's pretty good that they get 2 good saves. So not bad. They also get a D8 hit dice, which is the same as that of a cleric. So again, not bad. So far it's looking to be a pretty solid class. In addition, spellcasting. That's a weird one. So with spellcasting, the text says they get full spellcasting, but the table says they get 8/10. So that's a bit of an issue there. So yeah, you only get 8/10 spellcasting as per the table, but rules as written goes by the text. So rules as written, it's actually full casting, but rules as intended, it's probably 8/10. This is one of several classes with this problem in the Complete Divine. It's probably 8/10. Now, in addition to that, it also gets skills. And it's a pretty good skill list that has 6+ int. So it's a really good skill class, which is nice, especially on a Divine caster. They also get weapon and armor proficiency, which is really good. So they're proficient with all martial weapons, as well as all light and medium armor. So pretty solid. They also get extra domains. So at first level, they get the travel domain. And honestly, I think you'd probably rather the travel devotion. which is way better. Well, travel domain, the granted power of the travel domain is solid, but travel devotion is really good. Basically, it lets you use a swift action to move at the cost once per day for free, and then additionally for turn undead attempts, which you'll probably have a decent number of that you're doing that. So I would highly recommend you looking into devotion feats when you go into this, especially with your travel devotion. You also get swift footed, which is pretty nice. So basically, you can ignore -5 penalty for using certain skills when moving at full speed. So you can ignore the penalty to do that. For balance, climb, move silently, and survival, you can do, and move silently for tracking. You can do all those at no penalty at full speed. And tumble, you can do at full speed for a -5 penalty instead of the -10. So that's pretty nice. So basically, you lose, it's 5 less penalty. At 5th level, which is one of the levels where you don't get casting as per the table, but rules as written, you still would. You get Coraline's Perception, which this thing is incredible. A lot of people are going to overlook it, but you get a +5 to spot, listen, and search. And on top of that, and this is a racial bonus that stacks with additional racial bonuses, so this is going to be really good. And on top of everything else that you get with that, you also can do those skills as a free action instead of a move action, which is big. Those are some of the best skills in the game. They're really, really good. And you can do it every turn, even if you fail. So normally if you fail one of those, then you can't try again. But you can if you're in this class. You go 5 levels, you can try again. So this is huge. Your perceptive abilities are so much better than everyone else's, and that's really, really big. Those are some of the best skills in the game. So yeah, even if you're giving up spell level, that actually might be worth it. You also get sure-foot at that level, which is pretty nice. If you're on any sort of terrain that would normally require you to make a balance check silently or a tumble check, like if you're taking penalties on balance, move silently, or tumble due to the terrain, you can ignore that, which is bad at all. That's actually quite nice. These guys are very good at getting around and at seeing things, which is really good. They'll also eventually get Find the Path as a spell-like ability, which not a bad spell-like ability. I mean, it allows you to find the shortest route out of any place, lets you get out of mazes in a turn. So not bad. You also get Arcane Sight, which is pretty nice. You can do that 3 times per day, and it's a good way to determine a lot of information about enemies and stuff, like what kind of ores they have. You can figure out what kind of magic items and all that fun stuff they have. Can be quite useful. And finally, at 10th level, which is one where you don't get spell casting, you get Discern Location as a spell-like ability, which Discern Location is actually very powerful divine magic. It gives you so much information on whatever target you're going after, and they get no save against it. It would take the act of a deity to stop you from gaining that information, which, if you're trying to discern the location of the Misty Isle, there's probably going to be a deity involved in stopping you. Grumsh is probably not going to let you do that. But, you got the ability anyways, because you're going to try, dang it, even if Grumsh is stopping you. It definitely can be good, although losing a caster level for it, I don't know. But if your DM's ruling full casting, could be solid. So let's talk about how good they are and how you might use them in a build. So first off, how good they are depends really on whether your DM's ruling 8/10 or full casting. If it's full casting, they're really good, and I would highly recommend going all full 10 levels into it. Otherwise, if it's only 8/10, I would say, there's a few options. One, you can do a single level dip to get the travel devotion. Pretty nice. Getting in is a little tricky with those ranks of survival. I personally would recommend 3 cleric, maybe 4, and then 1 barbarian. Use the barbarian's alternate class feature in order to get pounce at first level, which is really good, being able to do that. Yeah, honestly, I think I'd go barbarian 1 and then 4 cleric, because you want to keep your casting up. You don't want to lose too much cast. You can use the 1 level dip to get travel devotion, which between travel devotion and pounce, you're going to be doing crazy damage. That's actually a really good combination. You're going to be able to get pounce very frequently with that. That's how I would recommend getting in. Now, you could go 4 levels as well, because you get full casting. Maybe even go 5 for that perception. That perception is so good. I think a lot of people are going to really underrate the value of that, but those are some really good skills. Honestly, I think it's worth losing a casting level over. Now, if you're gonna be going farther, then go to maybe 9th level. I think losing a casting level is worth getting Discern Location as a spell-like ability. Now, granted, the fact that it's a spell-like ability does let you bypass the 10-minute casting time, so you could use this on the fly now, but it's only once a week, which is pretty bad. So I don't know if it's worth it without the caster level. If you're gaining caster levels at all levels, then yeah, absolutely. But otherwise, I don't know. So yeah, that's my take on it. If your DM's Ruling Rules is written and it's full caster, awesome. I'd highly recommend going through it. It's a really good class. If they're not, then still a really good dip class for 1 to 4 levels, maybe even going 5 to 9 levels, but I would definitely not take the last level. I would not take the capstone if they're doing it rules as intended. So that's my take on it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like the video, consider giving it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel for more D&D 3.5 content. And I'm streaming on Twitch now, so in the description below there's a link to my Twitch channel as well as to my Discord. You should join that because we can talk about D&D 3.5 as well as my Twitch stuff. So get your rolls because there's separate stuff on that. But anyway, as always, I'm Mitch. I'll be seeing you